What is going on, guys? Mike here with Chit Chat Gaming. So today I just want to kind of talk about here one of my favorite franchises of all time when it comes down to FPS multiplayer games, and that is going to be Titanfall. Now, Titanfall originally came out here in 2014, and it was actually an Xbox One exclusive. Now, that's kind of where things kind of went wrong, and we'll get in that in just a second here. But for me personally, though, I based my decision on purchasing an Xbox One off of Titanfall here over the PlayStation 4 because, like I mentioned, I'm a huge FPS fan here. I love them, so I had to have this here. And for me personally, this was the reasoning why I chose the Xbox One. But like I mentioned, though, that's kind of where things went downhill. So if you're not familiar with Titanfall, basically what it was is a FPS sci-fi multiplayer shooter here. And it was all online. However, though, the game was developed by a group of former Infinity Ward developers here as well too, who decided to get together and produce and make this wonderful, wonderful game here. So for me, as I mentioned, though, had a huge bunch of fun with this game here. I actually own the headset still for the Xbox One. Still own the controller as well too. And like I mentioned, just a fantastic game here in my personal opinion. Now, Titanfall 2 will later come out here in October of 2016. Game didn't really produce very well simply because of the fact that it was released in the month of October alongside games like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and as well as Battlefield 1. So again, with three huge FPS games, with two of them being two major licenses, it wasn't going to go very well. So unfortunately, Titanfall 1 didn't do well because of the fact that it wasn't exclusive to the Xbox One, so PlayStation owners couldn't play it. And of course, Titanfall 2 didn't do well, even though it was on the PlayStation and PC, Xbox, etc. It didn't do very well simply because of the fact that it came out alongside two major players. So that was definitely the downfall there. Now let's fast forward a little bit to 2019. We hadn't heard anything about Titanfall. We probably figured we weren't getting a Titanfall 3, even though we wanted it, because let's be honest, Titanfall 2 pretty much fixed everything that Titanfall 1 had issues with as far as the gameplay and everything as well here too. Also, one of the biggest things is that Titanfall 2 introduced us to a brand new campaign. So it was like a 4-hour campaign. It wasn't a very long campaign. It may be a little longer than that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was absolutely one of my favorite campaigns I've ever played in any multiplayer game here, and that's including the Call of Duty series. But like I said, let's go and let's fast forward to 2019 here. We later find out in February that Apex Legends was going to be dropping from Respawn. So as I mentioned, Respawn is going to be the former Infinity Ward developers here, the team who are working on both Titanfall 1 and 2, and also, of course, working on Apex Legends. Now, Apex Legends is going to be a Battle Royale game, so yes, Respawn decided to go ahead and dip into the Battle Royale genre, which was really huge at the time. Now, ever since then, Apex Legends has been doing very well. I mean, it's actually been beating, as far as numbers go, like on Twitch and so forth, it has actually been beating, games like Call of Duty Warzone as well, too. It's a very, very popular game. A lot of people love it. I loved the game when it first came out. I'm not so much into it right now because this just came a long way. With the abilities and everything here, it's just not something for me anymore. So, but I do absolutely love the game. I love the characters, and like I said, I really got into the game when it first came out. But ever since then, not really a whole lot. But although the game has been very, very successful, except for a couple different areas, and that's going to be with the mobile. So they recently decided to shut down the mobile here because they did release Apex Legends Mobile. They also released Apex Legends on the Nintendo Switch, which not a good port whatsoever. But Apex Mobile did end up shutting down here most recently here, or going to be, I believe, here. But either way, though, it's no more. But not only that here, there's also rumors to be a huge Apex Legends spin-off single-player campaign game coming as well here too. Now there's rumors rumbling that this is going to be in the Titanfall universe, because as we know, if you play Apex Legends, you see a lot of the Titanfall guns in there, you see a lot of the universe. There's no Titans, unfortunately, and so forth, but again, though, lots and lots of similarities and callback, throwbacks, and so forth to the actual Titanfall universe. So again, though, they decided to go ahead and they were going to produce and work on a Apex Legends spin-off game here. But they did decide to go ahead and cancel that as well too. So that has also been canceled. So for me personally, though, I'm going to say this right now. Do I think that we could get a Titanfall 3? Supposedly they announced that they have no plans and no intentions. They are not working on a Titanfall 3. They have really made it very, very clear and been very, very blunt up front with us as well too, that they don't plan on making a Titanfall 3. But I don't see why not. People want to play it. Yes, I know the first 2 games didn't do very well numbers wise, but you gotta stop and think about this. Your Apex Legends fans, your team behind Apex as well too, can help work on that now. Or you can even get a new team to work on this. But either way, though, your fan base behind Apex Legends is going to gravitate to this game here. You're already doing great things with Star Wars as well too, with Fallen Jedi and everything as well too. So I mean, there's just lots of room, I think, to grow around a Titanfall 3 game here, especially if you add in a campaign mode as well too. So single player campaign mode for Titanfall 3 that continues on from Titanfall 2 would be fantastic. Then of course you'd have the multiplayer aspect as well here too. So I personally would love to see a Titanfall 3. I really honestly think we're going to see it. I think this is just kind of like a speed bump in the road. I know it's been since 2016 and we haven't seen anything since then, but I honestly think that sometime here soon in the near future, Respawn is going to be like, you know what, let's do it. Let's pick back up. Let's grab a hold of Titanfall. Let's bring it back alive here and let's bring us Titanfall 3. So let me know down below here in the comments what you guys think here. Do you want to see a Titanfall 3? Should the franchise of Titanfall just die, the universe, and just stay Apex Legends? Eventually the Battle Royale genre is going to run out. I know Warzone's doing pretty big as well too, but at some point though, people are going to get tired of playing it, and at that point it's like, okay. But not only that, Apex Legends did just recently here introduce a team deathmatch. It's not the same though. It's not a pilots versus pilots. It's not a attrition mode, nothing like that as well too. So it's definitely nothing like Titanfall, especially not having any of the wonderful Titans that we had in the game. So as I mentioned, sound off down below here. Let me know what you guys think here. Make sure you guys like this video if you choose to. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on that bell notification to keep up with all things that is Chit Chat Gaming. And as always guys, happy gaming.